Welcome back, everyone. So I've got another box opening, as you can tell by the strange setup, with the first week of that light's going to be annoying. Sorry. The first week of the new reward store for the loyalty program, I was able to snag a box of retro Cowboy Bebop booster packs. Side note for anyone who knows me long enough, I played this when it was brand new, so it is retro now, as you can tell by the old UFS for Universal Fighting System and the old Jasco for Jasco Games logos. I think this was the second set. Yeah, because the first set that I played that was brand new when I started was Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Edition, and then after that was Cowboy Bebop, their first anime license. So this is a really cool set. It definitely marked a jump in power level from the older UFS sets. There were only 8 characters in this set, and it was doesn't say how many cards per set that were in the set on here. But anyway, so one of the reasons I wanted to get this, one, because I love retro, and there are some really cool, expensive cards in this set. I wanted to show it off and talk to you guys, and I need one more destruction to complete my playset. I bought Rochester CCG's last 2. I have 1. I need 1 more, so let's try for 1 more. So we start with our box topper, which is Bang. This is a really dope card that kind of, I wouldn't say warped the meta, but it was definitely in sideboards and a real reason to play these 3 symbols, air, death, and water, because it's one of the few cards that could seal your rival's character. You could turn off Ghidorah with this and just say, hey, yeah, you don't get any extra lives. I'm just gonna bang. Take your 1 life. And then this response says, after your opponent does not block your attack, they lose 3 health, and you get to draw a card. So this card was ridiculous, and still is ridiculous. My scissors over here. How am I going to do this? You can't see. This is going to be kind of tricky, because I'm still kind of working on a setup for how to do this. We'll put right about there. And then another cool thing they did is we had our crew of Cowboy Bebop. We had Spike Spiegel 1, the difficulty of 1 star out of 5. It was, I think this Spike 1, yeah, Spike 1 was the starter deck Spike. Then you had Spike 2, which was in the actual set here. Then we had Faye, who was 5 difficulty. We had Jet, who was 3 difficulty. My favorite, Ed and 9, who were 3 difficulty. Then on the back you have the villains. We have Vicious, who was a starter deck. It was a Spike and Vicious 2-player deck set. We have Mad Pierrot, who was really neat. We had Azaboth and Katarina. And Twinkle Murdoch, who was the only character in this set to be banned. She was that good. She was ridiculous. She later got re-released with an errata. So maybe we'll pull Miss Twinkle Murdoch. But this is something that was kind of cool that they could do with a smaller set size, smaller character sets. And something I would like to see in the future with smaller sets. Hint, hint, UVS Games, if you're listening and you don't have something like this already planned. These are little inserts that go in the box that not only tell you like about the characters, but they tell you like how difficult this character is to play from a design perspective. And they kind of tell you how the character's played. Just a little bit like a brief, not like an overview of this is how you want to play this character, but just kind of little character hints. So it was kind of neat that they included this in the boxes. But this is also real cool. So the packs came in 4 different colors. So you have red, So we have red, blue, green, and yellow. And once again, I'm doing everything backwards and upside down. But there was a trick to this set. Pick a color, any color. One of these colors has an ultra rare in it. Guaranteed. And once we find that ultra rare, every pack of that color is going to have an ultra rare in it. I don't know how it mapped out that way, but it was insane. People would go into a store, buy one of each color, find the ultra rare, and then buy out that box's packs of that color. It was ridiculous. So we're going to play that little game here too. These do not have the handy pull tabs, so we're going to use scissors so I don't spend half this video getting outsmarted by plastic wrap. And back in the day, so this is green. Back in the day, we did not get a character in every pack, and that is still to this day one of the things I think is one of the best decisions UVS games ever made. So I'm going to try to hold these up, but I'm not going to go through every card individually because we'll be here all night. So Wounded Dog, Swordfish Gunfire, Folktale Storyteller. This was cool. This was a card that in your card pool, if you played it offensively or defensively, you could just mill 3 and build it as long as you had at least 2 other foundations. Like a boss. We get Distraction, Destruction, and now we know that green has all the ultra rares. So we're going to set all those aside and leave you in suspense. But this is probably my favorite card in the whole set. It is a 1-check, but I'm a madman who fears no 1-checks. It's a 5 difficulty, 0 low block, 4 low for 8 with tech. As a first enhance, if your opponent has at least 2 momentum, they have to add 2 of their foundations from their stage to their momentum. And then enhance, if your rival has at least 8 momentum, you automatically win the game. There's a combo loop with another card from Cowboy Bebop, another ultra rare called Phase Getaway Fire. It combos with a tech card, which means if I play Distraction Destruction and you have at least 2 momentum, I can stuff 2 of your foundations into your momentum. Then I can play Phase Getaway Fire, use the combo enhance to pick up any tech card in my card pool back to my hand, and then I get to play this again and stuff 2 more cards in your momentum. And if at any point you get to at least 8, I automatically win the game. This card is so silly. This was my entire reason for getting the box, and I got it in the first pack, so everything else is just gravy. That is amazing. Let's hear it for Hermit luck. We have Police Connections. Not my problem. Cowgirl Edward. Red Eye Capsule. So this is a cool card because you can have up to 16 copies of it in your deck. 16. And as a response, if it is ever committed or readied during the enhance step, the attack in question gets +1 or -1 speed. So Asimov and Katarina are all about committing and readying your capsules to make your attacks unblockable and your rival's attacks incredibly blockable. We have Bloody Eye Rampage and Cleaning the Fish. Cannot believe I got Distraction Destruction in my first pack. That is so cool. Alright, so we're going to stack these up. Then we're going to go through here and we're going to take out all the green packs so we can save the pièce de résistance for last. Which I would have loved to have Distraction Destruction pop up at like the last pack, but hey, as long as I guarantee it, I'm okay with that. So here's all of our ultra rares in the green ones. So we're going to set those aside. Turn that around so I have a trash box. Alright. Here we go. Got some nice good space themed synth going on here. Alright, we have Folktale Storyteller, carrying the weight. Presidente on the house when he was throwing margaritas at people. Psychedelic mushrooms. So this kind of worked like, what is it? Mimicry, the mimic asset. But instead of copying once per turn, excuse me, I got hiccups. Instead of copying an ability once per turn, as soon as this built into your stage, you just copied any in-play foundation. And granted, that was kind of busted, because you could gain the unique keyword with this, but it became a unique psychedelic mushrooms. So you could have 2 copies of a unique foundation basically in your stage, and unique foundations are unique for a reason, so that is really crazy. Got Captain's Discontent. Oh, and for my newer players, you might notice that some of these cards don't have block modifiers on them, because that's just how some cards were played. Some cards did not have block modifiers on them, and you could not block with them. Samba Slam. Feng Shui 101. Tijuana Takeoff. An Evening with Gren. And Bloody Eye Rampage. Alright. Yeah, I think my favorite characters from this set was Ed and Ein. Just because I love how they played. Second favorite, probably Twinkle Murdoch. Just because I love high risk, high reward playstyles. Useless Futility. Kinetic Energy Shield. Okay, Mad Pirate is really cool too. Unmet Demands. So this one's neat. It's got that 5 low block modifier. You can sacrifice it to force your rival to add one of their foundations from their stage to their momentum. And as a deadlock enhance, you can commit it to do the same thing. So Twinkle was all about giving your rival more momentum and then punishing them for it. Hence the Distraction Destruction. That's her ultra rare. Hacker Extraordinaire. So this is the original Hacker Extraordinaire, because now it's got a +4 high block, I want to say, with La Brava on it. But this is the original, back when it didn't have a block, and it was Edward. Harrison's Lucky Day. Black Dog's Aim. Urban Shower. This is a reversal, so this is an attack that you are allowed to use on your rival's turn. After you block an attack, you're allowed to play a reversal, which is a responsibility that says, add this card to your card pool, attempt to play it as your next, add it to the attack stack and attempt to play it after the blocked attack resolves. And if it's not blocked, your rival loses 2 health and you gain 2 health, and that's burn damage that can kill. So that's always fun. We know how much I love that. Funny Valentine. This was kind of neat because it's a card pool response that says you can spend a momentum. After you play this card, you can either build it or put it on top of your deck. So you can block with this +3 mid and then stack a 6 check on top of your deck. So pretty useful. ISSP Execution. And Explosive Acrobatics. So this, remove a card from your discard pile. This attack is -1 speed. If it looks familiar, it's because nowadays it has a +3 low block and it's called Incubating. So it is kind of cool to see like what old cards got reworks in the new UVS, what they wanted to pick. And if you're interested in stuff like that, I actually did a 3-video series going back to legacy characters and what characters' abilities I would like to see come back in Universus. It was fascinating. Tongpu's Assault. Another reversal. Wounded Dog. Ein's Brain Scratch. Such a good boy. Ooh, Big Shot Judy. So Big Shot Judy and Big Shot Punch are banned in Retro because they're dumb. They're exactly the same. Punch has a +1 high block, but they both have this 6 check here. Judy says enhance remove. This attack is +3 or -3 speed, and you can add 1 copy of Big Shot Punch from your discard pile to your hand. Punch says this attack is +3 or -3 damage. You may add a copy of Judy from your discard pile to your hand. So there was a fire-based deck with Twisting Azure Inferno that just milled these and then played a whole bunch of them and made Twisty, lethal on like turn 1 or turn 2. Because in Retro, aside from Rochester Retro, you can attack on turn 1, which is gross. But there are psychopaths like me who have done it. An Evening with Gren. Leg Crunch, I'm being a good boy again. Dreaming of Mars. The good boy himself, Data Dog. And Red Tail Missiles. And an unhealthy diet. Story of my life, man. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. We've seen 4 packs so far, and you'll notice we haven't pulled a character yet. Pulling characters, even in a set this small, well, I say small, was very difficult back in the day. You had to be really lucky, or hope that you and your friends pulled a lot of the same characters and you could just share them. So, Folktale Storyteller, Redtail Gunfire, ISSP Grapple, Katarina Shot. So this was really good with those Red Eye capsules because as an enhance you can commit 2 foundations to ready 2 foundations that have not been readied this combat phase. So you commit 2 of the Red Eye capsules to get +2 speed, and then you ready them up again for another +2 speed, making this a 4 mid-5. If I remember correctly, Asimov and Katarina could give you damage equal to the number of any named foundation in your stage. Poker Alice, Relentless Pursuit, Space Salvo, Explosive Acrobatics again, Funny Valentine, and Ilurophobia, so this card's dope. It's a 3 mid-2 with powerful 2. Seems innocuous enough. It gets +2 damage for each character in your stage, and +1 speed for each character in your discard pile. So, Mad Pirate was a character stacker. You wanted to have 4 of him in your stage, because way back when characters had difficulties and controls, you could play characters in your deck. And if you had characters of the same name as your starting character, you could build them into your stage and basically attach them to your character. So if you had 4 characters in your stage, this got +8 damage. Became a 3 mid-10. And then enhance remove any card from your stage, double this attack's damage. Ridiculous, especially when you consider that if you have 4 copies of Mad Pirate, he says all of your attacks are unblockable. Wrong camera. All of your attacks are unblockable. So you can make this incredibly strong and then make it unblockable. Gross. Also, Ilurophobia means fear of cats. There's your history lesson. Not history lesson. Etymology lesson. We have Section 13's Failed Experiment. Asimov's Fury. Space Warrior Squad. Loyal Friend. Good Boy Ein. Just being able to flip to seal foundations. We got Relentless Pursuit. Finding What Was Lost. Feng Shui 101. ISSP Execution. Space Salvo. And Captain's Discontent. Still, no character cards. If you didn't want to just buy singles at rochesterccg.com or Legendary Wolf, back before there was a lot of sellers on TCG Player, you had to just get lucky and pull characters. So we got Swordfish Gunfire, Funky Tomato, Red-tailed Gunfire, Bonsai Enthusiast. So Jet was all about increasing keyword ratings, so a lot of his stuff deals with manipulating keyword ratings. Police Connections, another Ilurophobia, Harrison's Lucky Day, Surprising Shower, Ganymede Terrorists, and Not My Problem. Yeah, I don't miss how hard it was to find characters back in the day. Marshall Banana, Useless Futility, ISSP Grapple, Secret Stash. Alright. Police Connections, another Ilurophobia, Harrison's Lucky Day, Surprising Shower, Ganymede Terrorists, and again, It's Not My Problem. Unmet Demands, Asimov Frenzy, Carrying the Weight, Mayfa's Assault. So this is kind of a neat one, because it has one of these symbol exclusive enhances, so you can only use this bottom enhance if your character has the all symbol. And that's what the all symbol used to look like. It was just a red dot. But you get to add the top card of your discard pile to your hand, which is cool. But I played this card for the first enhance. You spend 2 momentum and commit all of your opponent's face down foundations. And Spike 1 was a big problem back in the day because he was just a really good character that revolved around flipping his own foundations and having more face down foundations than your rival. So this was a really good side deck piece to just tap him down so that he couldn't defend himself as well. Got Police Connections, Not My Problem, Cowgirl Edward, another Red Eye Capsule, Bloody Eye Rampage, and Cleaning the Fish. Whoops. We got Mushroom Experimentation. So this one's neat, because if you sacrifice this and discard a card with a control of 6, you can reduce an attack's damage to 1, which is really powerful. Or you could commit your character, both players discard 2 cards and draw 2 cards. So I'm sure that one sounds familiar, with like Petty Squabbles, which simply just rotated. It's also got that ally keyword, and Edward and Ein focused on a bit of an ally package. Tongpu's Assault, Swordfish Gunfire, Coordinating Position. Interesting. Space Salvo, Funny Valentine, Ganymede Terrorists, Feng Shui 101, and Bloody Eye Rampage. Oops, one more. Poker Alice. So Old Faye was interesting. Her entire focus was her ability. Her ability changed depending on what the top card of your discard pile was. Similar to how Vash the Stampede and Nicholas Wolfwood, their whole shtick was revolving around having the top card of your discard pile be a certain thing. Faye depended on what block modifier was on top of your discard pile. It was really interesting and incredibly difficult to play, but some people had a lot of fun with it. Hey, we got our first character. After 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, on our 10th pack out of 24, we're almost halfway through the box and we got our first character, Jet. So yeah, remove 2 attack cards from your discard pile. After a non-multiple card is played, it gets +2 or -2 to all of its printed keyword ratings. So, powerful, EX, stun. This dude just boosted all of his own keyword ratings and could reduce your rival's keyword ratings. And then enhance mill 2, your attack is +2 damage. He was all about stunning your rival out and then just hammering them. So we got our first character. Funky Tomato. Just scoot this over here. I'll put Jet up here with the rares. Carrying the weight. Phase Cover Fire. Oh, maybe I'll scoot these up. There we go. Poker Alice. Samba Slam. Bloody Eye Rushdown. Unhealthy Diet. Tijuana Takeoff. And Dreaming of Mars. So yeah, about halfway through the box almost, and we pulled our first character. Jet was never one of my favorites, but actually I think of all of them, he might be my least favorite, just because he's very straightforward. Also, characters used to have genders, and some abilities would be gender specific. Like there's a Mortal Kombat card that said if your character's a male, this attack is +4 damage, because it's literally someone just doing the splits and punching them right in the gonads. They stopped doing that after a while, because some characters have no gender, like machines, so how are you going to do that? Fueling Up, this is a funny one. You can flip this as a response to cancel a rival's non-character ability that would reduce your attack's damage, and then they lose 2 health. So if they're not paying attention, you can catch them off guard with this. Asimov's Fury. The One Who Wanders. Relentless Pursuit. Cowgirl Edward. Surprising Shower. Unhealthy Diet. Cleaning the Fish. Section 13's Failed Experiment. Red Eye Capsule. I'm gonna try to go through these a little bit faster, except I'm blinded by nostalgia. Nostalgia is just for what it was like playing these new, not necessarily hunting for characters. Funky Tomato. Oakdale Storyteller. Space Warrior Squad. Hey, we got a punch. Let's go with our Judy. Ganymede Terrorists. Data Dog. Tijuana Takeoff. Black Dog Zane. Dreaming of Mars. And Red Tail Missiles. Yeah, and mind you, 2 of the characters in this set, Edward and Ein and Mad Pierrot, both either required you or really wanted you to play multiple characters. Because with Edward and Ein, you started with 4 copies of Edward and Ein in your stage. And then with Mad Pierrot, you really wanted to run 4 so you could make your attacks unblockable. Speak of the devil. If you have 4 copies of Mad Pierrot in your stage, your attacks are unblockable. Gross. This was a big Keenan Meadows character for a while, but he never stacked with him. He only used it for these enhances. Enhance Mill 4, this attack gets +2 speed, which is really strong. And then enhance, if this attack speed is 6 or greater, it gets -2 damage. So, really powerful abilities there. I've always wanted to stack him and just make everything unblockable, because there's an evil gauge card from the old Yu Yu Hakusho set that says just build in every copy of your character from your discard pile. So just mill until you have all 3 in there and then build them all for free basically, and then everything's unblockable, and it's really hard to get around that. ISSP Grapple. Ein's Brain Scratch, Emergency Rations, Evening with Gren, Leg Crunch, Dreaming of Mars, Data Dog, Red Tail Missiles, and Unhealthy Diet. So you can see it's not a large and diverse set. I think each character had their like a 9-card kit, and then you had your 2 starter deck characters with their starter decks. Or each character might have had a 12-card kit, something like that. Asimov's Frenzy. Hey, we got another Mad Pierrot. Marshall Banana. Leaping Neck Chomp. Ein being the bestest boy. ISSP Execution. Captain's Discontent. Syndicate Slice. Finding What Was Lost. Fei Fei! Just instant flip for -3 speed. On a 1-diff. This card was everywhere. It was amazing. Ilurophobia. There's that card we want to make unblockable after doubling its damage with our +8 damage here plus powerful 2. Disgusting. But hey, we're halfway there to our Mad Pierrots. I think I even have a hollow one because they gave away hollow versions of the characters as prize promos. Some of these packs are backwards. Kinetic Energy Shield. Swordfish Gunfire. Lights Out Bounty. Save the Sea Rats. So this is another Twinkle card. This is hilarious. It's unique, so you can only have one, unless you mushroom it. During your turn, you just flip this card, and your opponent has to put 1 card from their hand into their momentum. You just say you don't get to block, and you lose 1 block. It's such a gross card. I absolutely adore it. Ooh, I just thought of a really dirty water retro Keyleth using all of the momentum stuff. Gross. I'm gonna have to put some work into that. Relentless Pursuit, Bloody Eye Rushdown, Feng Shui 101, Urban Shower, Explosive Acrobatics, and Leg Crunch. Down to the last 3 that don't have ultra rares in them. Because I know when I see the ultra rares, I'm going to want to talk about them. Yeah, this is weird. See, half of them were forward, and now half of them are backward. Useless Futility, Unmet Demands, Asimov's Frenzy, Overly Dramatic. This was a big, like, $10 rare for a while. Response flip after your rival plays an ability that would decrease the damage of your decrease the damage or increase the speed of an attack. Cancel it. No speed buffs, no damage debuffs. And then as a deadlock enhance, you could remove it to add any attack from your discard pile to your hand. Really good card. Police Connections, Syndicate Slice, ISSP Execution, Evening with Gren, Surprising Shower, and Tijuana Takeoff. Alright. Oops. Some of them got stuck. We've got Useless Futility, Leg Crunch, Mushroom Experimentation, ISSP Grapple, another Katarina Shot, our first duplicate rare, I believe. Yes. Relentless Pursuit, Bloody Eye Rushdown, Feng Shui 101, Urban Shower, and Explosive Acrobatics. Trying to think of any rares I haven't seen. We haven't seen a Radical Edward yet. ISSP Grapple. Welcome to Woody's, which I think is our first copy of that uncommon. Fueling up. Oh yeah, Honky Tonk Woman. We hadn't seen this. So this is cool because we can just flip this to build the top card of our discard pile committed. If the top card is a foundation we could normally play. So basically flip this, build in any foundation from your discard pile committed. Pretty neat. Poker Alice. Samba Slam. Bloody Eye Rushdown. Unhealthy Diet. Tijuana Takeoff. And Dreaming of Mars. So now, down to the wire. Our 5 ultra rares. They didn't have secret rares back then. So it stopped at ultra. So our very first pack was a Distraction Destruction. Let's see what else we get. One of the cards got stuck. We have a Red Eye Capsule. Kinetic Energy Shield. ISSP Execution. Wounded Dog, and Virus Unleashed. This is another ultra rare from Twinkle. It's got Breaker 2 with that really nice 1 high block. It's a 0 mid 3. But it says, while this card is in your card pool, all of your other attacks gain the following enhance. Enhance this attack is +1 damage for each of your opponent's momentum. That's ridiculous. So you could just play this first. Your rival's probably not going to block it. But all of your other attacks gain an additional enhance that can buff their damage. Really powerful there. Unhealthy Diet. Funny Valentine. Bloody Eye Rushdown. Black Dog's Aim. Fei. So far this is a Twinkle and Parrot deck. Box. 2 Twinkle Ultras, and 2 Mad Pirate characters. Gamma. Useless Futility. Funky Tomato. Hey, we got Spike too. So this character was kind of nuts because enhanced twice per turn after this attack resolves. Clear it. You clear progressive difficulty twice per turn. Sure. And then enhance, you can commit Spike to give your tech attack, to give your attack multiple 1. And if it's a tech attack, you may add 1 card from your stage to your momentum. So you can fuel that multiple, which is spend 1 momentum, add the top card of your deck to your card pool, face down as a copy of this attack, add it to the attack stack. And there was a lot of cool synergy with some of his cards. Like he has an ultra rare that says if it leaves your card pool, ready your character. So you can enhance, after it resolves it's going to clear. Then I'm going to commit to give it multiple. And then when it clears, I ready it. And then I can also clear the multiple with this twice per turn ability. And those were like 4 high 9s. So really good synergy there. Got Black Dog's Fangs. Breaker 1, Stun 1. And then a card pool response that says spend 1 momentum after an attack resolves, but it's supposed to be, it got eroded to after another attack resolves. Add this card to your hand. So you could basically have 2 of these, and as long as you've got momentum, you could just loop them over and over, as long as you can check 6s and spend momentum. It's really ridiculously cool. Red Tail Missiles. Ganymede Terrorists. Fei. Surprising Shower. Harrison's Lucky Day. Bloody Eye Rushdown. 3 packs to go. Kinetic Energy Shield. Mushroom Experimentation. Asimov and Katarina. So they have both genders because it's 2 characters. But you enhance, remove a foundation from your discard pile. ready one foundation in your stage that shares a name. So you could remove your red eyes to ready your red eyes. Then enhance commit one foundation, name a card, your punch or weapon attack gets +1 damage for each copy of that named card in your remove from game pile. So you basically just maybe keep 2 or 3 red eyes on the field and just remove the rest of them to trigger a whole bunch of bonuses. Teddy Bomber. This was a neat action. As an enhance, you remove it, lose 3 health, remove any card in your rival's stage with a printed control of 5, and this attack gets +3 or -3 damage. So you could remove your opponent's best piece from the board and get a damage boost. So pretty neat action there. Dreaming of Mars. Finding what was lost. Leg Crunch. Another Red Eye Capsule. Syndicate Slice. And Urban Shower. So it looks like the characters are kind of hiding on in the green packs. Well, 2 of them anyway. Let's see if we pull another one. Funky Tomato. Welcome to Woody's. Folktale Storyteller. Gateway Shuffle. So this was a neat one. As an enhance, you can remove it for -5 damage, which is incredibly good defensive play. Or you can remove it to give your ranged attack or weapon attack +6 damage, and you can add any card from your discard pile to the top of your discard pile. So it combos really well with the Fey character, but it's also just free +6 damage. Or a free -5 damage. This card was nuts back in the day. Relentless Pursuit. Finding What Was Lost. Feng Shui 101. ISSP Execution. Space Salvo. Captain's Discontent. Final pack. I mean, I've already got my $5 worth from the shipping because I got the distraction destruction I wanted. I could have stopped the video right there and been happy. We have a Presidente on the house. Section 13's Failed Experiment. Lights Out Bounty, and our last ultra rare is Jupiter Jazz. So it's a reversal. So you have this ability that you can only play on your opponent's turn. So you can only play this ability if you've played this as a reversal, preventing your rival from playing multiple attacks for the rest of the turn. And you can lose 2 health, and if you do, if this attack was played as a reversal, draw 2 cards, or add 1 non-attack card from your discard pile to your hand. So you really only wanted to play this card as a reversal. So it was a really neat card. It allowed you a lot of card economy to either draw 2 or pick up maybe like a Gateway Shuffle, even though they don't share symbols, but something like that. You could pick up Punch and Judy on your rival's turn, so you can loop minus stats. You can prevent them from playing multiples, which are incredibly powerful attack cards. So really good card here. Harrison's Lucky Day. Black Dog's Aim. Urban Shower. Funny Valentine. ISSP Execution. And Explosive Acrobatics. So out of 24 packs, we pulled 5 characters. 2 of which were duplicates, which would be good if we wanted to play Mad Pirat, because you kind of want 4 for his gimmick. But out of 24 packs, only pulling 5 characters? That's a real big feels bad. So hats off to UVS Games for deciding 1 character per pack. Absolutely good. And all of these characters are uncommons. Character cards themselves were treated as uncommon cards. So they did take up one of your uncommon slots, which is why some of the uncommons might be hard to find, or why characters are hard to find, because I think you only got 3 uncommons per pack. So 3 uncommons per pack, one of them might be a character. Was not a good way to go about back in the Universal fighting system days. But yeah, we got some really powerful ultras here. Gateway Shuffle was really good. Black Dog's Fangs was $30 at one point. No one wanted Distraction Destruction, except for me, because I'm insane. Uh, this set also had a lot of one-check cards. There was... No, one of Edward and Nine's Ultras was a 2-check. The other one was a 1-check. We had Distraction Destruction as a 1-check. We had Coffee Samba as a 1-check. I think that might have been it. Yeah, but there's like 4 1-check. Oh no, Mad Purot's ultra rare. Let's Party is also a 1-check. So they did not skimp on the bad checks in this set. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with playing risky if I feel like the card is worth it, and being able to instantly win the game by overloading my rival with a resource, completely worth it. Granted, they could just spend their momentum, right? Well, if they're playing something like a powerful or an EX, I've got the Void symbol. The Void symbol got a really fun card in Critical Role that says Enhance Flip after an attack is played, momentum cannot be spent. So you could protect it. And she had momentum, Twinkle had cards in her kit that could prevent your rival from activating effects that cost momentum. So, plus this just debuilds too. Even if I'm not playing for the instant win endgame, if I play 2 of these and you have 2 momentum, you just lost half your stage. I'm okay with debuilding 4, and then she's got that 1 diff foundation that can debuild you even more. And off of Evil and Water from the Soul Calibur 6 Libra of Souls, Tira had a similar momentum, force your rival to get momentum vibe, and you could totally play an entire deck based around just stuffing your rival's resources into their momentum and preventing them from using it, and it's just really funny and really fun. So this was the main goal of getting the box, and I got it. I got it pack 1. Remarkably, I have never been that lucky. There you go, Olin. You can pull Chromes. I can pull the exact Ultra I want out of 1 pack. I think I'd still rather pull a Chrome. Chromes are worth money. Distraction Destruction is not. These are like $3. But that's it. That's all I've got for this Cowboy Bebop box opening. What did you guys think? For the people who haven't played with Cowboy Bebop cards, what did you think of seeing some of these older designs and some of the crazy stuff that they could do? Give UVS Games credit for giving us a character in every pack, so it's not so hard to find the character you want to play, because I believe in giving credit where credit's due. But if you enjoyed this, leave a like. If you got to the end of the video, leave a comment letting me know what you thought of the old Cowboy Bebop set, or if you have played with Cowboy Bebop cards from the olden days, let me know which ones were your favorites. Which was your favorite Bebop character to play? What kind of gimmick or strategy did you love playing with? And I will see you guys in the next one. Until then, see ya, Space Cowboy.